this before.
And that's always the way it works, though. Hey, everybody.
Nobody cares.
It's true.
Hey, guys. Good evening. Martha, thank you for becoming a member. And also, Cuckoo Kachoo. That's the cutest thing I've ever heard. Guys, how are we? What's going on? What's new with you? Because there's a lot new here.
For you ain't lying.
I want to thank the mods for being here. And we said this the other day, we are not going to do roll call, and then we did it the other day. We're not going to do roll call today. I want to get right into it because, what was it, 2 days ago that we did this? Or was it 3?
No, it was 2.
Okay. So in the last 2 days, since our last live stream, we have gotten quite a few people reaching out. It's funny how that happens, men and women.
Uh-huh.
And I will say there's going to be certain things I'm going to say that may not make sense to you, but they will make sense to the people within the Jester realm. Swan Patrol, we fly at dawn. That's another thing. Hey, Ursina. Thank you for being here, Deanna Downey. Hockeytown John, yes, we do. And that's something else that I'm going to want to discuss toward the end about actually going there next week and how many of you actually think that you could make it. So be thinking with that throughout this live stream. I do want to give it, I may do a quick roll call just to say hi to people for a couple of minutes to let people arrive, right, because there's only 385 people in here. And the last time we did one of these, what did we have, like 1,200?
Yeah, it tends to fill up a little bit later.
Yeah. So we'll say hi to you guys for just a minute. My lawyer friend, Denise, I love her. Castrol's here. Izzy Dizzy Bang Bang, Jennifer Folsom. Rhonda McNeil is a good friend of mine. Keyboard Warrior, You Made Alive. Can Dance, Kim Greenleaf. Once a Witness, Jehovah's Witness Cult. Lucia made it. Thank you, Lucia. I washed my hair today. Susie Fitz, Tony's Hooter.
Hey, Tony's Hooter.
Love her. Simone. Little Mink, Metal Mama, West Coast Fancy Nancy, Matrix Rabbit's a good friend of ours. White Streak Mom. Susie Q, Danielle Chamberlain, Peace Lady. LeBone's Creations, Malva Kai made it. Jamie Palmer, Ty's Channel, Julia Eberly, Sarah Graham, here for the love. Thank you, Sarah.
Looking good and green.
Mike McKay, Boomerang Beck. Thank you for being here, guys. Fat Cats Heaven, Kimmy Steele, Cheryl Roberts, Renee Rainbow, Caitlin, Jin Lee, Boudicaboo, Chops World. I have to sneeze.
It'll be a cute one.
Well, it went away. Keela threw out 5 hot sauce packets. Thank you for that, Keela. And I wish you would get some rest, girl. I love you, but I know you're tired. Yarn Prepper, Laura Dupree. I love her. Brian Lucas is here. Alva, Elizabeth Frazier, Marissa Martin, Mandy Me, Wilford Harry, Mara Mello. That's a good friend of mine. April Conlin. I hope you got my email this time, babe. I absolutely adore and appreciate you. Joanne Ventrilla, Erica Russell, Scientology. Chris Cat made another live. Goosebumps here. Moon Shadow, the whole gang. Mare made it. Thank you, Mare. That guitar is new.
It is.
It's from a local store here, and we thought that looked really cool in the background.
Yep.
I added a puppy pic. Baby steps. You are so cute. Oh. I'm so glad you put a picture there. Thank you for doing it. Dotsie Lynn Huffman made a live. Lisa Trimble. Thank you, Lisa. John and I are both here. Well, that's an honor. I love John. You've got to meet John. He's the best. Aspire to Inspire. Helena, Flock of Swan Boats. Changed her name. Thank you for I love Lapis. Thank you for noticing. Kathy Nittig.
That is really funny.
Rogue Hedgie, I'm glad you're here. Danny.
The number of memes that we've seen that have.
It's hilarious. Liz Tricks, Yadira. Lurker Laura.
Funny as hell.
Jezebel Mode, Jeanette Brown, SLC Girl, Meryl West, V. McWilliams.
Hey, V. McWilliams.
Tracy Murphy, Melly Dramatic. Let's see. There's 641 now. It's doubled. Lisa Trimble, thank you for gifting memberships. That is so nice of you guys to do that. Carrie Finch, Tony P. We didn't go out to dinner at all. Actually, we haven't left the house today. I just took a shower. I washed my hair, and you guys know that's a whole thing in itself.
And is it?
That's enough. It takes a while to put product in. Cambo, Mom of 6, Emily Blythe, Christy Lynn Wilson, Flyers Girl, guys, Gamer Jackie, Laura Font. I'm just doing this quick roll call to kill a few minutes because we are trying to get everybody in here before I get started. Hey, Analytical Blarney.
Rain virus.
Rain's here? Good.
Yes.
Bonnie Lucas. Okay. I'm glad you got a notification, Mara. Angie Moe, Dee Dee Razzle Dazzle, Rogue Hedgie. That's so nice. And I love your picture that you put up. Thank you, Rogue Hedgie. Otter Dancer, Kim Greenleaf. Guys, that's really kind of you. People love getting memberships.
Yeah,
It's such it's so exciting. It's actually a gift. So thank you. That's really kind. Indigo Twin toward your new swan yacht. Absolutely. Nice. We're going to need that. Arkansas Flamingo, Ladybird Sue, Judy Bug. White Streak Mom, thank you for your super sticker, my friend.
65-foot swan.
Just Pauline. Who's this in Arizona? Smidge of Snow.
Yes.
Samantha Harris. It's a whole process. Abigail made it. Eureka's here. Jem's Journey. Crystal Dax. Copper Top. Mile High Hokey.
Incarnasol.
Peanut Butter Pickles. Yeah, Incarnasol. HR Nightmare. Made Alive. Muffet Lou. Lori Lee. I don't know how to upgrade your membership, Lori Lee, but I'm sure the mods can tell you. Sophia made it. Karen Tootie Greenie. God, that's cute. Chris 10M, give Sam a little crazy tax. Thank you. That's a cute. That kind of looks like Bo. That is a cute dog.
Wow, that did look like
Thank you, Chris 10M. Hey, Joe Virus.
Both viruses are in the house.
Tiffy Tiff. Tracy Murphy. Abs. You just cut 5 inches off your hair. Wow. Jana K. Bigsy made it. Lumen. Love you all. Swan Boats. Pam Fredette. The Swan Boats. Hey, Martha Slimmer. All right. We've got 740 now. Pause for Andrea made it. Dots Lynn Huffman. Rose. Emily Brooks made it. Chris Crafts and Coffee.
Want a little bit more.
Word on the street with the Jesters. They don't like roll call. We've gotten a few complaints. Hey, I need a card. And so I'm trying to speed it up because our friends are watching.
Yes, I understand the Southern
accent. Tommy. Hi. The swans will flock. All we have to do is say, swans assemble. Annika's mom. Christy made it. Eureka. Okay. I know. Keep going just because they hate it. Beans Mama made it. Been replay crew. Thanks for being here, Beans Mama. Mrs. Nice. G. More roll call for the Jester's tax. Oh my God, Pajama Pixie, I love you. I feel like I haven't seen you for a little bit.
I just got an email. We haven't seen it because she's been out and about and living and, getting out.
Living life.
Has got a lot to do with the things we talk about here.
I love that for her.
I love that too, man. I really do.
Hi, Andy. Elena Rainerman says, hello, Swannies.
Get to the point.
Allison Metcalf Palumbo. Cassie Mosier always is trying to get me to get to the point. Teresa, thank you for renewing your membership. I was on the fence for a moment, but your manipulative mind control made me do it. Thank you for buying one more month, Teresa. I'm sorry I made you get August.
She's got that OT8 skill.
Actually, it's more of an SP power. Spicy Cat Foster. Jenny gets chatty. Debbie Gavin Castle.
DB power.
DB Crim.
Yeah.
Diane McGraw. I'm not recognizing some of these names. Audrey Ciano.
That's a cool thing.
From Cult to Living Freely. Debbie P. ROJ don't like roll call. They don't like it, guys. Mike McKay.
Yep.
Holly Hobby. That's so cute. Zelda made it.
Sandy, I need a card.
Sandy Wandy.
Zelda, yeah.
Jen P. Bo Beats. What up, my homies? Bo, nice. I love your picture, girl.
New picture.
Hey, Ken. Shane made it. Jan made it. Chris 10M, one of 3. That's so cute. Yasko.
He really does look a lot like Bo, or she, I don't know.
Iced Autumn. Thank you for your super chat. Hey, humble and kind. Riley's human. Gretchen made it. Deborah Malott. Kat K. Tax just to piss the haters off. I love it when you guys, thank you. You guys are hilarious.
And it does.
Pat Kimbrell. Brittany's here. We've got 801 now. I'd say we can get started. Mary Hiker.
We're definitely getting there.
Rufus Marie. Lydia Anderson, thank you for being here. Puka Vista, I love you. All right, guys. So Christine super chatted us. Purple Groovy, annoy the Jester's tax. Thank you, Christine. And nice. I'm sure it does.
Yes, it does.
Teresa Devers, Kelly Gerling, glad you made it. It's funny because these Jesters are the ones I think spreading the rumors going, this girl makes so much money. We know what you would pay to feel. So I don't want to hear it from you guys. Okay. Abdazzle, here we go. Forehaven and Grimm. So I'm not going to pay as much attention to the chat now because I have a lot to say.
In theory.
All right. So overwhelmed by the SP Powers drive-in fan? Of course you were.
It happens.
Thank you for your super chat. Analytical Blarney. Jeff's friends jerk tax. Thank you, Analytical Blarney. You guys are hilarious.
AB, you're really funny.
Okay. So we did thank you, Gen X, to the seventh power. We did a live 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And did Tommy give me this watch? He did.
As a matter of fact.
It's a vintage Movado.
Yep,
and it is very Art Deco-y. It's very cool.
Yep.
Okay. So annoy those gestures. Rachel, nice. I love you, girl.
Nice.
Since the last 2 days, so 2 days ago, we had the live feed about the female current bartender that reached out, spilled some tea, and yeah, Kestrel, I know. And since then, these people seem to be maybe just a little bit nervous because I've had in the last 2 days a few more reach out. Now, one of them wrote us a letter, sent me an email from a current bartender. That is not the same bartender I spoke to. I'm going to read you guys that email. She has since ghosted us.
Yeah, she's no longer.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
She said what she wanted to say, and I think that was her point. She didn't really want to be an under the radar person like our other gal. But also since 2 days ago, I have had, yes, Annika's mom, absolutely. I love Lapis. I have had a few male, of course, jesters, they're always male, reach out to me. And some of them I already knew, and some of them I did not. I gather that all of them that I've heard from in the last 2 days are from Court 54, which is, hi, Natalie.
It's the President's Court. Sorry.
The President's Court. And bartender, the second bartender who reached out to me yesterday has since ghosted us.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Actually, I think that was her intent. Her intent was just to get it out, and then thank you, Jem's Journey. Still looking for my Tommy. Aw. We'll get you one. Let me go scope out the prisons. We'll find one. Thank you, Deborah, for becoming a member. So I have the impression that these, some of these guys are from Court 54. I know they are. Court 54, court. So each, they call it the realm. The whole thing is the realm from,
sea to shining sea.
There you go. And each individual city has their own court. And it could be Court 54, which is Kansas City. It could be Court 138. It could be Court 92.
22.
Yep. So there's just, they're called different courts. They're jesters. I don't really know why they call it that. But some of these guys from Court 54 who I knew, I'm glad you made it, Adriana, like Pork 54. Yeah, they're kind of porky. Reached out to me. And the information that I'm gathering is some of these guys are pretty pissed at my ex, is kind of how it sounds. And a lot of them are saying at this point, he is hated within the Jesters. He is absolutely hated, is what I was told. And he cannot be trusted. And because of him is why all of this is going on. He's ruining it for everyone.
He seems to have burnt a lot of freaking bridges.
All of these guys are really pissed that now they can't cheat on their wives freely. They've got this yappy woman out here, this Quabelle's wife, out here. Gypsy Soul, thank you. Running her mouth. So he's not very well liked, is what I'm told, guys. I'm just relaying what I've been told.
It does seem to be why we're getting a lot of phone calls.
Yeah. And a lot of them are saying they can't believe that he's still involved, but he probably won't be much more. And he's just pretty much hated because of this whole scene, right? He kind of ruined it for everyone. So
let Oso get the handbook.
Yep.
For the recently diseased.
I got the handbook for the recently diseased. Gracie, thank you for becoming a member, my friend. The poor creeps. Hey, NH Carol. So there's that.
Who says Matrix Rabbit?
So there's that. And a couple of them just kind of told me what they thought. And they don't like me either, by the way. None of these guys were like, hey, we're rooting for you, gal. They hate me just as much, but they hate him even more because of what has all happened. And this can't be stopped. So raise your hand if you're surprised. That too. Helena, flock of swan boats. Do these fools think they're in King Arthur and the Knights in the Round Table? They do.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, that's not such a stretch.
Absolutely, Lily. People have absolutely been booted and banned from the Jesters. Yes. Yes, it is new, Annika's mom. So again, it's not like they're calling me going, hey, we really love you, but we hate him. Yeah, they don't like how much apparently this is getting traction. Like probably I would guess there's over 1,000 people in here now. Half of them are probably Jesters. Hey, Jesters, would you please hit the dislike button on this video?
The thumbs down.
Yeah, hit the thumbs down. They are, I'm told, again, this isn't me being proud. I was told this is really spreading around within the Jester courts all across the United States.
The kingdom.
The kingdom.
The realm.
The realm is what they call it. And can you say hello to Weedy Poo? I just did. And so they're really pissed that this is getting around. But they did tell me, hey, Shell, that my guess is a lot of these also underground places where there's threads about me. I think that they're all probably trying to make a dent in saying how horrible of a person I am. If you go search for me on the internet, you're going to find a lot of hate right now. There's a lot of hate.
Even more than usual.
More than usual. It's really, really a lot, which I think it's a small amount of people, but they're trying to ruffle a lot of feathers. My guess from talking to these guys the last 48 hours, that's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read, first of all, I'm going to read.
You know, there was one other sentiment that seemed to be every guy anyway that called. A little bummed out that we're picking on someone who has cancer. That seemed to be a recurring theme.
Yeah. One of the girls in the bartenders, I made it to another live. This sounds like it's going to be good. It's great to see you at the end of my workday. Thank you,
Thanks.
Kay. I'm glad you made it, babe. And thank you for your super chat.
You know, you guys are funny as hell, man.
Yeah, they're pretty pissed that I'm talking. So, yeah, that was something that they said that's pretty low, that you're picking on a bartender that has cancer, that's going through treatments. And I wouldn't say we're picking on this person at all. I mean, this happens to be a bartender that we now know a lot about. She has to take a lot of breaks. She still parties. She does 20 to 25 a year.
You might be picking on her a little.
Well, she shouldn't have slept with my husband, and she shouldn't have slept with somebody else's husband that has the same name as my husband.
There is that.
She slept with two Jesters by the same name. One's from the East Coast. One is not. That's another part of this story. We had someone from the East Coast reach out about that particular affair. And, you know, the wives of these women who you sleep with, of the husbands, we don't like that. You know, just a heads up for the next time you let someone penetrate you that is married. We don't like that. And we typically fire back when something like that happens. So I'm so sorry. The fact that you have cancer happens to be a circumstance, but I'm not going to not say what I know because of that. And, you know, they're taking good care of her from what I'm told. She gets to go lay down and take naps. She goes and lays down and takes naps during the parties. And she works her ass off. So good for her, actually. She's rocking and rolling, you know. She's shattering through the glass ceiling.
No, you know, I feel for anybody that has cancer.
Yeah,
I really do.
That has nothing to do with this, though. You can have all the cancer in the world. You're still a bad person. And I'm sorry that you have cancer, but you're a terrible person. And that's what we're focusing on. We're focusing on who you are at this point, not what you have. You have cancer, but you happen to be a terrible person.
What you're doing is terrible. That's probably
what you're doing is terrible. And you know what you're doing. And yes, it's not a pass. It's not a pass. So I truly am sorry. Yes, Lionheart is well aware. The authorities at the lake
Scroll down
are very well aware of this. What?
Muffet Lou. You guys are really funny. Really
Muffet Lou, that's the best. The
really
cellist is going to catch Hellas.
That's a good one.
Pretty soon he may be the cellist. Remember, back in the old prison? You've pissed off a lot of people. Congrats. You are doing something right. Thank you, Aunt Nene Hobbs.
Yeah.
If you don't hoe around, you don't have to find out. That's so true. And that's the other part of this. I just want to say, you know, all these guys, this particular girl, all the other girls, you're in the find out phase of F around. You guys effed around and now you're in the find out phase. And that's a shame. And we are truly, you know, I would say send prayers for this poor girl having cancer. That's not cool. And I hope she kicks its ass.
No question. Pulling for you.
He's the soloist. But you screwed two men by the same name, and one of them was my husband. So yeah, we don't like that. Sounds like she drew the cancer in. She pulled it in.
Wow.
She could have pulled it in. If you're a Scientologist.
Reference there. Scientology reference there.
I used to see judges, lawyers, and police. It's so unethical and disgusting. It is. And it needs to be exposed.
Yeah.
No, you do not draw cancer in, Deborah Malott. Absolutely not. So that part is terrible, but we're not going to excuse this, right? Just because of that. I'm sorry, but I'm not. This person has done some really terrible things and should have to pay for what they did, or at least own up to it. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and read the letter. The authorities do know. Actually, like every single person that has a badge knows about this party next week.
For real.
Actually, the news stations have been called. I don't know that they're going to do anything about it, but it's been reported to the news stations down there. The authorities, every possible authority in that, I think it's Osage County, on land and on the water, know about it. Yep.
No Air Force yet.
Yeah, I'm not bluffing, guys. This is true. Hey, Anna Witt. So the authorities know. Do you think the Jesters are mad at your ex because he told you about them where you were still married? I think the Jesters are mad at him for being born at this point. Yes, B. Taylor. I think they're mad at him for pretty much everything. Yes, absolutely. And thank you for your super chat.
And for, not keeping a tighter grip on
maybe you shouldn't have told me all this stuff, So yes, the authorities about the cruise threats. Yes. So, authorities, land and water. No. Grammy Jen, thank you for being a member. Oh, cute granddaughters. They're really cute, babe.
Wow.
Kids are so cute. If you don't stop, your ex is going to call Mr. YouTube and get your channel banned. I think it's happening tonight. We got to get this stream out.
We got to get this done in the next 48 hours.
He'll probably make it happen tonight. I hope they are all scared. I think they could be. I think some of them are. I used to hoe around and I found out, Joe.
That's
absolutely.
Hoe around and find out.
Word on the street, this party next week, a few of the married guys have canceled already. The single guys have not.
We also...
we were told that there's been a few married men. I was also told there are not 700 to 800, that my number is incorrect on that. Yeah. Somebody called and told me that too. Your number is not correct it's less than that. Nora said she would like to do a live with you. That's awesome. Thank you, Amy Edge.
That came right from a Jester.
That came from a Jester. That did not come from a bartender. That 700 to 800 is way high. I don't think my ex is going to be there. He was a part of this. He put this whole thing together. And he backed out 2 years ago. There's 4 guys, B.I., initials B.I., Eric, E, E.F., as in Frank, J.Q., and the big one, J.H. J.H. has been embezzling from this party. And so Natalie says hi too. Where? Allegedly, of course. Yeah, we can't prove any of this. I was told this, though, from
one of the parties.
The soloist's mouth. JH, apparently, hey, Robin Miners, has been embezzling money. I don't know how much money, but one of them backed out of this party when he found that out. So neither here nor there. Let's go ahead. Do the rest of them know he is stealing? It's been speculated upon. I was told all three of them are assuming it's JH, but I don't know the rest. I knew that years ago.
Yeah.
So let's read this letter.
And they are built like a sewing circle too. I mean, it's honestly crazy.
Well, you'd think it was a tight circle, but I think, guys, and I want your opinion on this. I think what's happening, I do think eventually he's going to get kicked out, Adriana, because he is so hated. I'm told he's very hated right now. I think what's happening is these guys are, I think they're all starting to eat each other. They're tattling on each other at this point because they know it's probably going to come out and they don't want to be told on. They want to tell.
Yeah.
That's how I'm seeing it, because as many people that reached out, I'm like, whoa, like it just feels like almost children that are like, mom, before
right.
my brother gets to you, I want to tell you the version of my story. So I have had quite a few of these dudes reach out to me and go, here's what's really happening. And here's what I know. And I think they're all just freaking out, and they're probably coming to me because there's 1,300 people in here watching right now. Right. And there's probably going to be at least 10,000 views in the first 24 hours. So, you know, they know it's getting out there and it's getting seen, and they probably just are begging that, you know, they don't have their picture up on here.
Well, and the stuff that you're releasing, they know you couldn't get from any place but the inside. Trust and believe that that's sinking in, right? There are things that you shouldn't know that you do, right? Like, that kind of thing, I think, probably makes people nervous.
Yes.
Like that silly thing that they do. What did you call it again? The whipped cream.
The fruit table?
Yeah, the fruit table.
What about it?
The fact that you know about that.
Oh, that there's video of them doing the fruit table?
Yeah.
Oklahoma or something. At Oklahoma. Yeah, she only did it once this year at Oklahoma, I was told. Her and her first initial starts with a B. Yeah, no, the dessert table.
And there's a bunch of other foul stuff, right? That's just one of them.
Yeah.
The paint party, and
they did the paint party at UP, I'm told, the UP book.
Yeah.
Upper Peninsula. So my ex, one of my exes, just a random guy, was at the Upper Peninsula Jester book a week or two ago. And the bartenders there did not do, that was a small book, by the way. One of the guys that went to that book called me and said, how many people were there?
It's 30 or 40 or something. It was really
20 to 30 guys.
It was a small number.
It was a small book. And there were 20 to 30 guys. The bartenders there, JAW, we're talking to you this time. The bartenders there did a paint party, I'm told. And JAW did a paint party. And we're not entirely sure what that means, but it sounds like a good time.
It does sound like
they get paid to get their boobs painted. How embarrassing. Poor little pervs tattling on each other. Yeah, that's right, Susie. That's right. Where in the UP? It's somewhere. Is the UP considered Wisconsin?
Well, you know what? There's a couple of UPs in this country. I mean, Michigan has a UP. There's a lot of upper peninsulas in the U.S. So I'm not sure which UP.
Yeah, they call it the Upper Peninsula book. So I'm not sure, but I know
in, Minnesota, right?
No, I think it was Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. I mean, yeah. That's
one
right.
of the jesters that was at that book called and told me, Green Bay. Yeah, I think Green Bay.
Yeah.
One of them called and told me the location and told me it was only 20 to 30 guys, but our little bartender girl was doing a painting party. Do you have any prisons? Do any prisons have orchestras?
No, I'm afraid they don't. Yeah.
Hopefully they do have church though, right?
Yeah, you can go to church.
Okay, that's good because he's a Christian.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different kinds too.
He's a Christian. JH embezzling. JQ can't afford all his bills, but still goes to books. Yeah, well, credit cards work.
Yeah.
I know UP is Michigan, but not for these guys. I don't know why they call it that, but it is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Green Bay is Wisconsin. Yes,
right.
Absolutely, Liz Tricks.
It's the jester that called me that went to the UP book and told me the number of the guys that were there and that our little friend was doing her paint party. Yeah. They rotate locations, he said.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get to
You were going to read the letter, I think.
Yeah. So here's this letter that we received, and we have been ghosted by this girl. Okay.
So far.
Yeah, maybe she'll write us back. Up peen pencil. I love Anita Card. All right, here we go. Ready? I don't know the name of this person. Reese, you are causing a lot of problems in our group. Aww. Yes, that is much smaller than usual. The average party is usually like 80, 60 to 80. Yeah, it was a small one. All right, here we go. Reese, you are causing a lot of problems in our group. You know, Scientology said the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, you're a troublemaker.
I have a pattern.
You're a troublemaker.
You're really trying to paint. You're really trying to paint all of us as hookers, and that is not the case. Some of us are truly there to serve drinks. It gets better. I won't deny that we wear sexy outfits and try to work up the guys to get the money flowing. But not all of us are doing the things you are portraying. Some of the girls take things way too far. Yes, they do. Is nudity something that's expected from us? Definitely. But if I have to show my tits to make an extra 1,000, I'm going to do it, and so would you. I wouldn't, because my tits are ugly.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, they're not as good as...
Anyway, keep reading.
I mean, I saw some of these girls' boobs.
Yeah, I did too.
And so did you. I have never performed sexual acts with penetration. Some have, but that's not the norm. Didn't she start by saying we're not hookers?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
I've personally never done that royal table you mentioned. Some girls do it, and that's their choice. How we make our money is our business. Well, I wish I could say that about me, but unfortunately, how I make my money is everybody's business on here. So
that's funny.
How we make our money is our business. I wish I could say the same. Yeah, Crystal, we're not doing the things you say we are. We just do them sometimes.
Yes, some people do, but
okay. She says, I know these guys are scumbags, but I put a smile on and make that money. Yeah, I'd rather just serve drinks without people trying to take advantage of me, but those gigs don't pay as much as these guys. When Mr. Banks, as you called him, invited me for the first time, I thought things would be different. But clearly they expect more from us, and I don't care if you like it or not. We are going to take their money. I just want to say your moral standing is lying down. I'm not happy that your source is going to rat us out to our husbands. I know they should know what we do, and maybe we should quit. I just don't want them to find out from some stupid letter or whatever you're planning. Please tell your source not to send anything to them. Some of us that care will tell them ourselves. Should I be scared to go to the lake bash? Again, your moral standing seems to be on the floor. Let me help you pick that up.
Yeah, it's penetration is wrong, right? Anything else is
everything honestly, else is on the table. No pun intended.
But you know what? Honestly, I'm not gonna judge people for any of that. I'm really not. It's just the fact that when you do this kind of thing the way they do it, there's no protection.
A lot of people have reached out in the last 48 hours. They seem to be squirming a little bit and coming to me for their troubles.
And they're gaining momentum. They're coming faster now. It is sad.
It's very sad.
Spicy Cat Foster.
Yeah, no, it is sad. I think it's sad how she worded it in general. It just sounds trashy and like, how dare you put light on this?
Right.
Like,
and you would do the exact same thing.
And you would do the exact same thing for an extra $1,000. No, I wouldn't. So I thought that was really odd.
Yes, it is. Sorry. Somebody's calling.
So there's that. She doesn't want her husband to know. the husbands are going to know. I will tell you that. This person who is threatening to tell the husbands is definitely going forward with that.
And that is not us. For the record.
It's not us. And
really
communication has been sent to all the whatever the news stations are down there. Again, I don't know if that's going to turn into anything because the Lake of the Ozarks is tit soup.
Right. Shocker. There'll be people without tops on there.
You're going to see tits everywhere. So yeah. I don't know that any of the news stations are going to care. The authorities are going to care. And to my knowledge, they're going to have quite a bit of coke there. Coke seems to be their drug of choice, according to our bartender friend now.
And I should imagine some Viagra as well.
Yeah.
Little blue pills.
By the pound. So guys, I will get back to your super chats. I'm sorry that I haven't yet. Missy, that's me. Welcome. But again, I don't particularly feel bad for any of these girls, including the one that slept with my husband. And I got a phone call from somebody on the East Coast that she slept with someone else's husband by the same name as mine, which is weird.
That is a little weird.
And she was blackmailed apparently for 2 months about that. And they were threatening her and the guy and to send pictures. And this is why this is a true lesson. You just don't do these things. It's not an accident. You're not making mistakes here. It's wrong. And
in 2024, you just can't get away with crap anymore. You know what I mean? You just can't. It's not that kind of world.
No, you can't.
No, it's too many cell phones out there.
Too many cell phones, but also too many cell phones, but also too many loose lips.
Yeah.
You would be shocked at the people who are talking. I just want you bartenders to know, you'd be shocked at the people who are talking. Especially, our little friend who I said Mel the other day, MM initials. Well, it could be Melanie. It could be Melissa. It could be Melania. It could be anything. You don't know.
Right.
Our little friend MM, I guess she's getting fairly nervous about this. She's a troublemaker in the realm, and she's a bartender, and she's one that I'm told is messing around too much. The other one, first name starts with a B, rhymes with a B.
You're a fool. You're a fool.
Starts with B, rhymes with B.
Yeah.
And I want you also to know, girls, Tommy, are you okay? I think he's okay.
I am fantastic, but thank you for asking.
Girls, I also want you to know that these are coming from your friends, people that you think are your friends. This isn't coming from Facebook, okay? I'm blocked from most of their Facebooks anyway, but I'm not getting this information from Facebook. I'm getting it from specific sources.
And a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, and I think they're just freaked out. I think they're like, okay, we're going down anyway. We're going to start telling. And for some reason, they are coming to me.
Well, I think you are now the face of this group sucks kind of a thing. You're definitely the face of this because they're coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah. So the authorities have been told about the drugs and the prostitution. Now I'm told also by our source told me that our banker friend, Mr. Banks, or the banker, is going to scale back on how many girls get to go out on the boats. They're kind of changing it for next week. I think they're going to keep a lot of people inside at this point, according to Mr. Banker. And I know. I've heard from a lot, Robin W. And if I go next week, we may not see a lot because it sounds like they're changing up the plans and they're not going to have as many people. Now, like for instance, one of the bartenders and one of the girls who used to be a bartender, I'm told, they do hire off-duty cops.
They do. But
one of the girls who used to be a bartender crossed the line and actually penetrated. She got into some penetration, some coitus, and she can't come back. Once a bartender gets caught doing that, they're out. They can't be a bartender. However,
doesn't mean they can't show up.
You can't not be a hooker. So you got a new job. It's just a different job. So one of those girls who used to be a bartender is rented a house on the lake for next week with a bartender, a current bartender, and they are going to sell themselves out of that house. They've already booked appointments, and they're going to be prostitutes for that weekend. And they don't care. And apparently they've set there's other people doing that too. So I guess if you do something like that, maybe that works for you as well. Patty Collins, I'm really sorry to hear about your mother-in-law, by the way. So there is a lot of debauchery, and it is also cringe, Dylan, blow drill. But what I'm wondering is, do we go anyway? Do we all, like, how many of us could show up next week? Because I will tell you, it would be fun to go to the hotels and stream, and we can rent boats, and we can, zoom in and stream. And I think it would be hilarious to do what Aaron does. Like, remember how Aaron used to go to Flag?
Yep.
And he was like going into people's faces and protesting. I was thinking we could do that with these guys and just go up. Now we'd have to do it on public ground. But I thought it would be fun to go and expose these guys. And we'll put it this way right now. They're not all going to stay inside. Right. There's no way. They may try to stay inside to shield the girls. There's no way they're going to be able to do it. And you can wear as many hats and sunglasses and scarves as you want. We're still going to have your face on camera.
And yeah, we do have a drone, actually. And more importantly, I have a camera that from about a half a mile away, you can just keep going like this and bringing stuff in. It's absolutely remarkable.
Well, so that's the only thing. It is a little bit dangerous because, like Aaron going up to Scientologists, that wasn't really dangerous. Scientologists don't do anything. Right. Not to mention, I'm not comfortable going up to a Scientologist and attacking them. I don't want to do that anyway.
Right.
These guys, it's fair game no pun intended. It's fair game, speaking of Scientology, because they're cheating on their wives. They're doing drugs. They're cheating. They're bringing prostitutes across state lines. They're violating the Mann Act. They've got all this coke, allegedly. So I don't feel bad going up and shooting my camera in front of them. But there is a level of, it's
different.
It's nerve-wracking because they could punch me in the face and not think twice. However, if I do go, I will absolutely have law enforcement with us. I will not do anything without taking law enforcement with us. So I feel like I've had, there's somebody in the chat actually whose husband is one of the chiefs down there of the Water Patrol Police. And he's already absolutely, their moral compass is a little rusty. He's absolutely, is coke legal in Arkansas?
To the best of my knowledge, it is not.
No, but hookers are.
Yes. No problem there.
Reese, no disrespect here, but you get nervous. You're not getting in anyone's face. I'm not going to get close to anyone's face, but I think it would be very fun to go up to someone and say, hey, you don't mind talking with us, do you? Are you hoping people will get arrested? Well, I hope they get arrested if they're breaking the law. Yeah, I think people should get arrested for this. If it's a giant operation of coke and hookers, yeah, I think they should. Absolutely.
Truth be told, it could be an absolute bust. We could go up there and find out that a lot of these people bailed.
Yeah, already I'm being told that a lot of them have canceled. So, and a lot of them are not going to go out on the boats as much. But we do have the locations of the hotels, and that helps. And we already, like I said, authorities, the person who was the chief has already reached out to the FBI, DEA. There is a lot of authorities, I'm told, that are going to be looking in on this. They've got the dates, they've got the location. So I'm not sure. I don't know who's going to show up. I don't know what men are going to show up. It sounds dangerous. Yeah, it could be dangerous. And that's why, what if one of the girls gets hurt? I don't know, Maggie May. I wouldn't be there to know about it.
Well, that's one of the things that makes this an issue and makes it frightening. When people say, hey, you know what, leave people to do whatever they want to do. When you're doing things like this that are illegal and you have to do it in back rooms, the women aren't protected. I mean, they could say they are, but they're not. We've already heard multiple tales of these upstanding citizens that decided to smack one or two of them around and their discipline was to be temporarily kicked out of the realm. That doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. That's messed up, and that's the problem with this kind of.
I have no doubt that girls have been hurt. Or what if somebody ODs? I don't know, guys. I can't control any of that. I have no idea what's going to go, especially indoors at these parties. I don't know. They have 3 hotels booked. We're not going to know. I'm not going to be responsible for it. If that's what you're saying, we're not going to know. We can't go inside to see. And all of the actual, they're not going to do any sexual favors outside where we can see it. They're not going to be snorting cocaine off of somebody outside where we can see it.
I would be surprised.
Those are going to be in the special hospitality rooms. They have special hospitality rooms for the girls.
But those are guarded, literally guarded. We won't be, there's no way to walk in on those.
Can they change the location? They can try, but this is in the making for 2 years. They planned this party for 2 years in advance. I doubt they're going to change. I don't think they can take down 3 hotels next week. They're not going to be able to change that.
And by the way, the Mary Kay booth, we've been told that the Mary Kay thing, the vast majority of these people understand that they're dating bartenders. They just don't realize what that entails.
Oh yeah, the Mary Kay thing. I wanted to clarify that because one of the people who reached out to me said the bartenders think that you are going around saying they tell their husbands they're Mary Kay sales reps. No, they tell their husbands they're bartenders. They don't tell their husbands what they're doing.
Right.
Which is like body paint or painting parties, the royal fruit table stuff,
everything but penetration.
Yeah, the sexual favors, wet t-shirt contests, all that stuff. They're nude. Most of them are serving in the nude. Their husbands don't know any of that, but they are telling their husbands they're traveling bartenders for sure. You might be giving out too much info. They might cancel the whole thing. If they do, they do. I don't care. It's my job to give the info. I don't care whether they cancel it or don't.
And the people that are reaching out at this point are reaching out because they would like this. That there's a platform here, and
yeah. And most likely, I'm not going to go. I don't think it's a good idea, and I don't think it's going to be productive. More than anything, I don't feel like it's going to make a difference whether I go or not. I think what makes the difference is what we're doing right now. There's 1,500 people watching, and half of them are probably within the jesters. There's probably tons and tons of jesters watching.
Yeah.
And prostitutes and bartenders, and then the ones who are both, like the one who rented the place on the lake for this next weekend. She's a little bit of both. Her name starts with an S. You know, that old chestnut.
Yeah.
So I know all this stuff because it's legit. Hi, Cindy Edge. And Pete, your friends are ratting you out.
Yep. For real.
Heavy lies the crown. Isn't that what they say?
That's right.
Your friends are ratting you out. And the worst thing that I was telling Tommy earlier is I was putting on my lipstick, guys. And I'm being naive. This is just something I have to say from my point of view. I'm not reporting anything right now. You know what makes me sick about this? Even down to the one that's going through the cancer treatments. I've been told a lot about her these last few days. They have no remorse. They're worried about losing their jobs.
Right.
You know, I'm told that, our friend Mel, or the one that starts with a B that rhymes with B, or JAW, they're all worried they're going to lose their jobs. Like, they're worried that the jesters are just going to take the bartenders out.
Stop.
And they're just not going to have them anymore. That's their concern. These people are married, screwing around on their husbands. They have little kids. They have families. But oh no, they're worried we're messing with their money. They're mad that we're messing with their money. And they're mad that their husbands are going to find out that they're getting ridden more than Seattle Slew. So that's a problem.
It's a great reference, though. It's a good reference.
That's a problem. To me, that's a problem. I wish they had some sort of moral grounding. Yeah, they're worried about losing that tax-free money.
The money is good.
The money is really good. She, the girl that's going to go next weekend, says she stands to make about $8,000.
Yeah.
Being a bartender. So I think it's
a lot of drinks.
Yeah. I think, we need to expose Mr. Banks, the banker, and Why no penetration? I don't know. I think that's just a rule they have that the if you want penetration, you got to go across the hall to get a prostitute. I think that's why they do that. They get just far enough to get you all hot and bothered. So you give all that money to that bartender to lick whipped cream off her
hoo-ha
cooter lip. And then you got to go across the hall to see our friend Kelly, you know, to actually pay for that penetration. So it's kind of a double dip. Like
I think it also gives plausible deniability. Remember, like the people who say, I go to these things, but I don't do any of that. All I'm doing is going and I hang out with my friends.
All I do is I pay JAW $20 to lick fruit off of one of her coots lips.
There you go.
The coot lip.
But I'm not doing anything, right? I'm not I'm not visiting prostitutes. I'm not doing any of that. That's the line of crap that every one of these guys say, but they're still surrounded by a whole lot of
and JAW only did do the one royal fruit table this year at the Tulsa book with B.
Mm-hmm.
They did that together this year at the Tulsa book, I think is what that guy told me. So she's only done one, but how pathetic that you are laying on a table with whipped cream on yourself, letting men throw 20s at you to lick it off, and your husband doesn't know what's going on, and you're lying to him.
There's the rub.
That's the problem.
Yeah, it really is.
And you're sleeping with the guy that's got the same name as one of my exes over on the East Coast, and they're blackmailing you, and it just makes me so mad. None of this makes you mad. You're mad that you got caught. None of this makes you feel bad. That's what bothers me about this. You guys don't feel bad about it, that you're ruining people's marriages, including your own, that you're lying to your kids. Like, I'm sorry. I hate to make it about that, but for me, that's what it's about. And I remember my ex screaming at me going, why can't you just let this go? And I would say that because it's so wrong. You guys are putting hundreds of people together to screw around on spouses. That's wrong, man.
It really is.
You're sleaze bags.
Go do whatever lifestyle you want, man. Seriously, it's not the lifestyle that's an issue.
Yeah, there's no ethics. There's no morals. And they think it's totally fine. This, the banker, Mr. Banker, he thinks it's totally fine, I'm told. He's the one that recruits all the girls. He's in Wichita, and he recruits a lot of the girls out of Wichita.
That does seem to be the case.
Yeah. And, sir, you are reported to by the authorities, just so you know. Well, his initials actually are DB.
How about that?
Degraded being.
Yeah.
Blakey, I'm glad you made it.
To being a crim, too.
Yeah.
Won't be long.
A trichinosis party? You got it. So, yeah, it's just gross. And he doesn't care. And none of it's like big pharma. Nobody cares that people are unaliving themselves. Just keep feeding them those pills because we're making a ton of money on it. It's wrong. It's wrong. At some point, you have to have, don't you? Don't you have to have some kind of a conscience?
Yeah, it helps.
They don't.
It helps.
All these guys that called me the last few days said they don't. And that one guy even said, he goes, I'll be honest, I don't have one. I'm just scared I'm going to get caught and found out by my wife, is Correct. What he said.
Yep.
He goes, so I'm coming to you. And he gave me his name. And like I said, a lot of them are from Kansas City that have reached out to me from Court 54. And I think that's separate. They're not trying to take down the bartenders. Two of them from Court 54 even said, I'm not against the girls. I don't care what they're doing. And I don't want to be in on that. I hate your ex, one of your exes. I've got a few exes. They hate one of them. And they said he's burned enough bridges. And he's created so many problems in Court 54. And that's what they hate. They don't like that it's happening in their backyard, is what one of them said. He goes, it's happening in my backyard, and I don't like that.
Well, and here's the thing. They have said, if you deep dive this, and there's a bunch of stuff out there because they've been in trouble before. This is nothing new, right? They've been in trouble before. But every time, the narrative is the same thing. It's a small group of guys that are completely rogue. They've got nothing to do with anything. However, the people at the top of this vote on which girls are allowed to go, which girls aren't allowed to go. Right, the people at the top will blackball a girl and say, no, she's not going to be here anymore. If it's a small group of people, right? How is it that the people in the top are aware of every single thing that's going on? This is what they do. Right? This isn't a part of, this is what they do. This is the reason they do it. Right? Sadly, this is a sad group of people, man. It really is. Yeah. Both sides of the equation, pretty sad.
Yeah. What kind of bridges did he burn? I don't even know the entirety of that. Honestly, I know that he burned some bridges in 2020 when he was the in charge. He was the guy in charge. He burned a lot of bridges there.
Yeah. It's a recurring theme, though.
Sunny Shine, yeah, we're not bashing these people for what they do for a living. We're bashing them for the moral side of it. I don't like that they have no heart or soul about the people they're hurting. I don't like that. I don't like that they're taking drugs to this party.
Well, and how about the fact that, honestly, the narrative with them is they're saving marriages, right? Yep. They all say the same thing. They're saving marriages.
That's what a lot of them have said. Even the bartenders think they're saving marriages because the men go home happy and they've been miserable with their wives and they made them happy. So they're saving marriages. So it's all of that. I don't care that you're charging somebody to have sex with you. I have no issues with that. It's a job. It's sex work. That's a job. It's the morality of it for me. It's the fact that you're lying to your spouse, you're screwing up other marriages, and this is just a big cesspool of it. And it is mind control, eyes to see. They're absolutely, I feel bad for these girls. I think these girls are like I was in Scientology. There's blinders here. You're not allowed to look anywhere else. You're being told what to do.
All of the people you hang out with are all involved.
Yep,
all the
they're
people
all
your
involved.
Friends are. This is.
You think they're your friends. They're not. Yeah, these girls are being absolutely manipulated and brainwashed.
And a lot of them
makes me sad.
And a lot of them think that this group saved them. Right? Literally, this group saved their life. They had nothing, and everything they have in life. You heard Kelly.
Can you be a judge? There's many judges. There are several judges that I know of.
They're not supposed to be in a, because when you take the vow of office, they ask you don't belong to any secret societies. You've never taken any other vows right prior to this. So, but yeah, there's a bunch of them.
But as far as charging for sex, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. If you're not hurting people, like actually physically harming, if everybody's consenting, that's a different thing for me. But it's the way that they go about it. It's the parties they're putting together. It's the lying. They are lying. I was lied to for 5 years about this. That's going to upset people.
Yeah.
It's going, if they just took the sex out of it, and this was just a group of guys that got together to golf and drink and gamble or do whatever, that would be cool.
Or go to strip clubs, right?
Yeah.
Go play golf and then go to a strip club where all of this is above board. Right? The girls are protected. There are bouncers there to break people's fingers if guys do anything. Right? That's the way it's supposed to be.
It's all on the up and up.
If somebody's going to go into that line of work, they should be protected viciously. Right? And when you do stuff under the radar.
Oh, for sure. Here, Teresa. I'm not saying all sex workers lack empathy or ethics. As a matter of fact, there's somebody in this chat that used to be a sex worker who is a very close friend of mine and has shared very close, intimate stories and details that nobody else knows. This person is nothing but empathy.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would never, ever generalize something like that and just make a blanket statement of they're all, soulless. These particular individuals are. But I cannot speak to others. It's like other Scientologists. I can't be like, we all do this. They all say that. No, I know this particular group and the ones I've spoken to happen to not care about what they're doing, the destruction they're causing. That does not mean, Teresa, that I feel all sex workers are that way. No way would I ever say that because I don't feel it. I don't feel that way. That's not my opinion. Yeah, the sex work is fine. That's not what we're talking about.
How often do these get-togethers happen? Constantly. They're literally
every weekend
because of how many courts there are. This is every single weekend.
Mm-hmm. This is a big one. This is their biggest sex party. It's called the Lake Party, and it's at the Lake of the Ozarks, and they do it every other August. And my ex is one of 4 people who came up with it. The Lake Party Bash. They came up with it. They collected all the money for it. It is separate from the actual Jesters stuff that they do. This is like a thing that a spinoff of they came up with.
Right.
And of course they did because it's all about prostitution. This one in particular is purely about prostitution. They don't even have
to pretend that this is about anything else.
They do nothing else. It's just a big fuck fest. That's all it is. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, jesters are a me. It's all about me group. Yeah.
And they're not, and they don't even deny it, right? I mean, if you listen to what they say about themselves, right? They are an exclusive, group of, guys who concentrate on fun, merriment, right?
Yeah, and King's Kid, the trafficking is an issue. Why every 2 years? I think because it was such a huge party, Kestrel.
Yeah.
It was such a big, huge bash. I know this because I was married to one of these guys that put it together. It was huge. It took so much work to put this stuff together. And also, it's a little bit under the radar. It's not something that's put together by the royal jesters at the national level. Like, none of these guys are doing it. They kind of started it and spun it off on their own, and You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And then it turned out one of them, by the initials of JH, started embezzling the money. Started embezzling the money from this. And so that became a problem. And one of the guys backed out and refused to be on the bank account with the other guys, BI, EF, and JH, who was embezzling the money. So it's just a shit show.
It is. It absolutely is.
So I don't think we're going to go next week. I don't know if he is going to the lake party, Andy. I would be a little shocked if he were going, my ex, only because it just doesn't seem like, I doubt that he would go. But I don't know. I have no idea. I don't keep track of that thing anymore. The Vegas get together is once a year in December. Now I think they have a book in Vegas, but they have the branding party every December, and I will get dates for that. I've got dates for every party coming up, and I've got locations, and we may go to one or two of those.
Yeah.
We may. This one would have been fun because it's outside. That's right. Hubris.
Yeah. Perfect.
Tommy taught me that.
Yep.
If I don't break my boundaries as a sex worker, I'm honest with my partner, then I feel I'm ethical. Absolutely.
Yep.
It wasn't my responsibility to make sure the Johns I saw were adhering to their boundaries.
No.
That is exactly right.
Yep.
As long as you are on the up and up with yourself and the people in your life that trust you, who cares about the Johns? That's not the fact that they're married. That is their problem. That is not your problem.
But this gets to be a little weirder. And the reason this gets to be a little weirder is because it's the same women and the same guys nonstop. You understand? Like, this is really bizarre because it's not like guys are going out to visit prostitutes. They're going to visit the same prostitutes for the next 15 years. This is really a bizarre, it's not like anything else I've ever seen. And I've seen a bunch of weird crap in my life, right? I'm definitely no prude or, but this is just really, really different. These women get in young and stay in forever. It's really bizarre. In my opinion, it's really, really bizarre.
It's really bizarre. It's really bizarre. Can spouses sue for contracted diseases? That I have no idea.
You know what? I know that there have been cases where people have done it on some of the really serious diseases that's been litigated.
But I can tell you spouses are going to get divorced probably from some of these guys and hopefully take them for all they're worth. And I hope they do. I honestly hope they do. Yeah, this gets a lot weirder, Tommy. Thank you for clarifying, Reese. I know I'm touchy on the subject. And a lot of us are touchy on this subject, even if you've never worked in the field. It's a touchy subject, Teresa, but I'm not shaming people for sex work. That's really none of my business, to be honest. I don't like that my husband cheated on me with a sex worker. But I'm not mad at the sex worker. I'm mad at him. And that's what I say about this whole Royal Order of Jesters thing. It's the men that disgust me. I'm not mad at these women.
Right.
Have any wives contacted me? Yes.
And you're right. Technically, they're more like mistresses. They really are, because they're being visited by the same men for their entire life. It's a hard thing to wrap my dome around, because this is really, really odd. You're right, Kestrel. They are groomed for this service. Yeah, they absolutely are. They target people that are vulnerable, people that aren't making enough money, people that have kids. Yeah, they definitely are targeting a type. And that's, and in their head, they'll tell you they're saving these girls, right? They really are. They're saving these girls. Look at the lifestyle they provided.
Yeah, it's gross. I do know a lot of the wives personally, yes. Now, recently, in the last 3 weeks, A lot of the Kansas City guys were friends with me on Facebook and have blocked me. Not just deleted me, but blocked me. I can't find them, and that's perfectly fine. But I hope that they're watching right now, and I hope it's making a difference. And I hope your wife finds out.
Yeah.
And I hope that one in particular who blocked me gets taken for all he's worth, because he's worth a lot. There's one in Kansas City. He's pretty high up too, and he's worth a lot. At least that's what I'm told. Why go to the parties, Diane? I'm probably not going to. The only reason I wanted to go was to live stream.
Bring you with us?
To live stream at the party and expose some of these guys. I think it would be hilarious to go up to him and say hi to your wife because she's watching.
And it's also, people are really proud of what they do, right? Until their face gets plastered all over YouTube, and then they tend to not be quite as proud of what they do. And, it may sound awful, but yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice to put some faces to some names. And if you do it live.
Yeah, to see the looks on their faces. Yeah, it is gross, dark energy. I agree. Any idea roughly how many bartenders? I want to say there's not very many, Goosebump. 20-ish? Maybe 20, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. But there's not very many. And like I said, this one particular girl, the one who's going through the cancer treatments, she goes to like 25 of these parties a year.
Which is, oh man. Someone earlier asked about the play, if the play was fake. There's not going to be one this weekend because this isn't a book of the play. But no, there is a play that they put on. It's part of how they justify what it is that they do. But there is a real play. Karma is my kink. I love that. Right, Zelda. That's great. Zelda has a good comment. If they want to save those ladies, then they should find them good, honest jobs. Yeah. Well,
that's the other thing. My ex, as you guys know, my ex said to me once, I said, boy, what if I became a jester prostitute? And he thought I was being serious. And he said, you couldn't do it. He said, you couldn't do it. It would break you mentally. It would absolutely destroy your mental state. And you'd have to be able to take about 20 men per day. And I almost fell out of my chair. And you know what he said to me? And he said this more than once throughout our time together. He said, these girls are idiots. He was like, they're stupid. That's why they do this. They can't do anything else. They can't even run a cash register. I was like, really? And he said, they're stupid girls. It's all they know. All they know how to do is be on their backs.
That's a horrific thing to say about anybody on earth.
That's a horror. I actually feel like crying as I said it out loud. I think that is such a terrible thing to say about women in general. And it tells you what you think of women. They're objects. They're objects. But yeah, he's definitely a Christian. Don't get that wrong. No, they're objects. And he said that to me many times over the years. These women are idiots. He was like, that's why they do what they do. They can't do anything else. They couldn't even operate a cash register. They just know how to be on their backs.
That's right. Misogyny. It's exactly what it is.
It's absolute misogyny.
Eyes to see 33. That's it.
It was it made me sick when I first heard that. Yeah. It made me really sick. And that is this person's viewpoint toward women.
Kestrel, that's exactly
why is it shocking that this person called me a CUNT in front of my son? Why is it shocking that he called me an uneducated piece of shit Scientologist? It's not shocking because he looked at me as an empty object. I'm not a human being. I'm a woman, and women are objects to these guys.
And think about it. I mean, this is the exposure again and again and again and again. Every single weekend, there's a party somewhere where they're paying for sex. Every single weekend. You have to be a misogynist. Honestly, at some point you would start feeling bad, right? But they literally will pass around a book so that these guys can look at pictures of these women like they're like they're picking out food.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, that was what the one guy said.
That he literally had a book.
We had a jester reach out to us. I still don't know. He didn't name himself. And he said, I've never slept with any of the hookers, but I know who they are. And you were sitting there with me. And I said, well, if you've never, he goes, I'm happily married. And I said, all right, well, I'm not a mathematician. I'm a Scientologist. So this isn't adding up for me. Please make it add up. And he said, I know who they are, but I just haven't slept with any. And I said, how do you know who they are? And he said, because when we go to the parties, there's an actual book passed around with their pictures in it. And you can pick which one you want. And they have hospitality rooms specifically for these girls, where you can go in and meet the girls and pick which one you want. That's how he knows who they are. Like I was gonna say like animals, but I wouldn't even say that about animals. I mean, animals are absolutely beings to me too, that should be treated with utmost respect. All living things should have the right to be treated with
Dignity.
Just basic rights, dignity, and respect. We should all get that, whether it's an animal or a human being. And I don't understand. It's a pop-up whorehouse. Absolutely, it's a pop-up brothel.
It is. Yeah, and then there's also a gambling hall attached to it. You know, they're playing
he
poker.
Said that. Yeah, he said that the girls, the bartenders, start gambling tables, right?
Yep.
To get them going, so they make tips off of that.
Yeah, they're a lot more involved than we were led on. You know, in the beginning, we were led to believe that it was very sort of separated. You know, that but that's the line of crap that everybody tells their wives. Right. But when you talk to the girls, you find out, like the initiation ceremonies where the girls, there's always a girl involved in the initiation ceremonies. Right.
I just have to, I mean, this really upsets me. It does get me going when you start tearing down women. And I am such an advocate for women. I always have been. I've said this from my very first live. I think women are so impressive as part of the human race. I think they bring so much compassion that men can't. I think they bring a certain chemistry to this world that men can't. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And so much so that I won't be touched by a man in any way. I won't get a pedicure by a man. I won't get my hair done by a man. I won't get a pap smear. I won't get a doctor's exam. I wouldn't have my baby delivered by a man. I'm really weird about men. I don't want to be disrespectful to men. I love men, and I think that they're great, and I think they're helpful when they're good, honest creatures. But there's something about men that make me really uncomfortable, and this is why. And I hate nothing more than a man feeling like women were just put here to be on our backs. I think that's really fucked up.
It is.
And I absolutely hate it. And I feel sorry for these women. I feel very sorry for them.
No. Geoplanet Jane, you're right. At the Bunny Ranch, there are bouncers there to make sure that nothing happens to the women. And these bouncers are terrifying looking individuals. I've known a few guys that did that. I lived in that part of the world, and I knew guys that were bouncers out at a couple of those houses. These are big guys, really big guys.
These are the same guys that help sick children. Yes, because you have to be a Shriner in order to be a jester. And the Shriners are the ones who we have the Shrine Hospital.
Yep.
Yeah. So 3,000 per weekend, 20 men a day. Say it's 2 days with men. That's only 75 per trick. Doesn't seem like much. So
it ends up being closer to 100.
It's about $100 an hour.
Yep.
That's right. It's about $100 an hour. But you could be like Kelly, who is a prostitute that reached out to me. And if you're real good and they love you, they can hire you privately for the whole 4-day trip.
Right.
And that's when you make $4,000 on one dude.
Well, unless he shares you with a friend or something.
And he did do that.
Yes, he did.
I have many emails of him double teaming with other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they split the $4,000.
That's lovely. Lovely.
They do. They get tax exemption. The jesters are tax exempt. Yeah. Nobody knew all this. I mean, a lot of people have reached out to me and said, Reese, you can Google this. You're not blowing up anything that we didn't know. Yes and no. If you go down deep rabbit holes, you can find some things. If you ask people who know things, sure, you'll find details out. Some of this stuff, though, was not exposed that I can find. Some of this stuff is really kind of exposing the underbelly of it. And I've got proof, and that's what makes a difference too. There's people who say things, but they can't back it up. I have proof of a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, no, this is definitely showing. And someone said, how pervasive is this? This is going on every weekend, and it's not just this group. There are a bunch of other ones. This is a thing. This is absolutely.
It's very Eyes Wide Shut to me. It's very. They even have to wear tuxedos. It reminds me of Eyes Wide Shut.
There's a lot of these little creepy organizations all over the place, and they're girls coming out to service these people every weekend. This is a real thing, and it is way more pervasive than you think it is.
Yeah. There's a huge Shriners Hospital in Dallas. I know there's one in St. Louis too, Joe.
Yeah.
And guys, I don't think the Shriners are all bad people, and I think the Shriners do good things. But unfortunately, these dirty ass jesters, you have to be a Shriner in order to be one. And I know personally at least 15 to 20 of these guys who are on the board of the Shriners Hospital. That's not good. That's not good. That's really not good.
Maybe they're trying to do Eyes Wide Shut, but couldn't afford the nicer hotels.
Yeah, they
to Melinda.
One of these
Holiday
places,
Inn.
yeah, they did a Best Western. Remember, one of them said they stay classy.
Yeah.
Is a Shriner the same as a Mason? No, you have to be a Mason first, and then a Shriner, and then a Jester. I watched the documentary you recommended. The Jester art in that documentary is very incriminating. Yes,
Right?
it is.
No question. Glad you saw it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of you have never even heard of them. Yeah. Yeah.
No, this is and I mean, I don't know, as a little kid, you know, when I was growing up, the Shriners came out to every single parade, you know, in those little cars with the fezzes and, you know, wear their hats, and it was the coolest thing in the world, right? Looking back now, the team who Eyes Wide Shut. That's a great comment. It really is. That's a great comment. But, you know, I always thought that those cats were the salt of the earth, that they were doing really incredible things. And it's just a bummer. It really is. It's just a bummer.
Shriners, right? They're goofy little cars around our parades, and some of them have purple fez hats. Yeah. Probably Jesters. Yeah. The Jester's color is purple. Everything is purple when you're a Jester. Yeah. And there's a lot of Jester Shriners. Now, not a lot of them are active Shriners. Once they become Jesters, they're not really active anymore. They don't do much to help. What is the name of the documentary? Help me out, people. Does anybody know the name?
I'm not going to remember it off the top of my head, but it was
something Bill.
Oh, Billiken Bill.
Billiken Bill.
Yeah, Billiken Bill.
Billiken is spelled Billiken.
Yeah.
Billiken Bill. Type that in.
If you type that in, you should find it.
Be warned up front. It is it's about 45 minutes.
Yep.
And it's a documentary about the Jesters. And he shows a lot of proof of their little weird memorabilia.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting.
It is.
It's really gross. There's a lot of animals. There's a lot of animal stuff involved.
Yep.
And I really don't like that.
Kestrel, I love
it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Guys, they're hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
These guys are hiding in plain sight. You're going to meet them. You're going to shake their hands. A lot of them in Kansas City are the presidents of banks. A lot of them are politicians. There's a ton of judges. There's a ton of lawyers. I met one on moving day that came. I didn't meet. I knew him for years. Moving day, the guy that came to our house.
Yeah.
He's a Jester and he's a Kansas City homicide cop.
There was we have a senator on the floor of Congress talking about, it's a great clip. You'll see it on the video we're just talking about, but talking about human trafficking and prostitution.
Amy Edge, there's no actual animals in it. It's the little trinkets.
Artwork.
Yeah, it's the artwork. It's the trinkets that they show that have animals that insinuate things that really creeps me out. So if it's going on behind closed doors at their parties. I don't know if it is or is not. Shelley, I will never shake another hand. Yes.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. These dudes are hiding right out in the open for sure. For sure. I would not be surprised if you've met a lot of them. And I have met tons of them, and they look at you and they're just, you think they're so nice, and you meet their wives. Now, I didn't think that. I knew right away these guys were sleaze bags. Of the village idiot back.
Well, you know what? All right. So if you go all the way back, honestly, the history of the Jester was they were the one people that could basically comment on anything, including the king. They could pick on royalty. They could do whatever. They were the one person that the king had given the right to talk about politics, all kinds of things. But they were comedians. They were there to make the king and the people in the court laugh. But they were able to say a lot of really heavy duty stuff.
So.
Yes, a clown of the king's court, correct.
As we've all seen this is their slogan when they go to parties. I am a Jester. What I see here, what I hear here shall stay here when I leave here. If you guys want me to, I can read this. What is a Jester? I can read some of it.
No, knock it out.
The Royal Order of Jesters is a luxury organization for only those who can qualify and who can afford it. Any man proposed for membership should be of such financial status that his dues assessments, and expenditures incidental to his membership will cause no embarrassment or deprivation to his family, business associates, or any others whom he may be at any time be obligated. He must be a Shriner in good standing in his temple and all prerequisite Masonic bodies, and must agree to maintain those memberships if invited to become a royal jester. Because membership in the Royal Order of Jesters is limited, each member is expected to be as active as possible.
Sure.
To be a good jester, he should attend the business and social meetings of his court whenever he is called. And as far as health and exigencies, I've never heard of that word. Exigencies, EXIGENCIES.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that word is.
Never heard of it. Will permit. Although he is not required to be a regular attendant at meetings of his shrine temple, there you go. You don't have to help with that anymore.
No.
He should be active to the extent that he will use his influence and right of ballot to maintain a high level of dignity and character in his temple. Because you're a big dick swinger is what you are now.
Dignity is important here.
Yeah.
Unless you're a lady.
He must be a gospel of good fellowship, mirth, and merriment. But he must also be a gentleman, even when the wine flows in.
All right.
I've never read this. How gross. Are there any Scientology jesters? Hell no.
No.
You would not be put on the cans. That would not work. Last sentence here, or last paragraph. Membership in Kansas City Court number 54, the Royal President's Court, Royal Order of Jesters, is by invitation only. No one proposed for membership should be aware that his name has been submitted. A violation of this rule might bring embarrassment not only to the court and sponsoring member, but to other members as well. That's what I just read. And then I was going to say at the end, there's the bylaws, guys, and we never read the bylaws to this, but I wanted to read something that I thought sounded like hookers.
Is there jesters from Omaha?
Oh yeah, there's an Omaha court.
Absolutely.
There's a Lincoln court too.
Yeah, there is a ton of them. There really are a lot. Notice that before they talk about being a good person, the first thing they say is, better have enough money for this, and that money better not, you better have enough to pay your bills and still blow a bunch of this.
Yep.
And you got to go to all the parties because there's not a bunch of us. And right, weird. So strange to me.
What did I read?
Yeah, Erica, their definition of gentleman is a little different.
Listen to this. Listen to this. This is what I read. This is the bylaws, okay? And I'm going to read right here, Section 2, Article 7.
Okay.
All transactions of this court, either in business or social sessions, at any time whatsoever, shall be kept absolutely secret. Why? Any violation of this section on the part of any member shall be deemed conduct unbecoming of a jester, and the penalty for such violation shall be expulsion from membership in this court. Due charges of any violation of this section must be made in writing and presented to the director of the court. All transactions of this court, either in business or social sessions at any time whatsoever, shall be kept absolutely secret. Business or social?
Yeah.
What is social?
I'm guessing prostitution and oral sex contests.
Yeah.
The chicks dressing up like some kind of fruit basket while people toss 20s and lick their nipples and whatnot.
They dress up like a cornucopia and around November time. Just a little smorgasbord, if you will.
And end up banging
It makes sense because it's a bunch of fat men.
Well, there's that.
Of course, you got to put food out. Do these women say if the sex is protected? I was told from one of the people I was married to that when they hired the 50 prostitutes they slept with, they did not use a condom. That's what I was told, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
No
yes,
sushi table? That's what I thought. The secrets that keep them sick. Yeah. Must be kept absolutely secret.
Yeah. Which means don't let your wife find the handbook for the recently diseased.
The Royal Order of Jesters. Now, on the inside of this book is the Kansas City Circuit Court judge. and his email and his phone number and his wife's name and his wife's date of birth. I'm in here, my email, my phone number, my name, my date of birth. Not only do they put the guys, they list every man, every business phone number, business email, what they do for a living, everything's in here. Why would you be so stupid? Because now you can't deny it.
Yeah.
This guy who's a Kansas City Circuit Court judge, you can't be like, no, I'm not. And is it true that judges take an oath that they won't be in a secret society?
Correct. You're only allowed to take one oath, and that would be for the country. That's the theory there.
Yeah. You're not supposed to be in a secret society, judge. And I know this judge personally. I sat at a barbecue with him last year and asked him a bunch of questions about being a judge. Yeah. Why is this in writing?
Well, you know why? No, you know why? Because I think that over time, people have guarded those pretty well. I think one of the reasons that there's bridges that have been burned and there's animosity all over the place. I'm not being funny. Also, let the handbook for the recently diseased fall into the hands of Relatable Reese, recordable.
This is not something that I should have in my possession because it's not that thick.
Purple Groovy promises not to say a word.
But it has every single name, every single phone number, and their photos.
Have pictures too.
And their pictures. And their pictures. Yeah. How stupid are you to have a paper trail? Like, how stupid are you to put this in writing? And how stupid are you to say, what I see here stays here when I leave here? What wife is going to be like, oh, this is nothing?
I don't think they're supposed to be waving those around the wife. I think that, because it doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good.
None of the people I was married to would have put up with that.
I don't know anybody that would put up with that. Ladies, would you put up with that? How did I get it? I have a ton of these books from my ex-husbands. They were both jesters. They got a little too comfy. Alicia, I'm just glad you made it. What did Crystal say? It's in writing because for far too long, powerful white men have felt invincible. They are literal fools. And especially these guys. I mean, they think they're powerful white men. Hi, Carrie Ann. They really think these guys, they do think they're invincible.
They do.
And
hubris.
I don't know for sure what's going to happen at this lake party next week, but hey, powerful men. I've heard all the single guys are going. A lot of the married ones already backed out. Smart. But hey, powerful men, the authorities have been absolutely reported to about this, water and land. Yeah. And the fact that you're bringing cocaine to this party is also a problem. Yeah. And so cocaine, you've got hookers, you're not, it's not good. You're not above the law, Shelley. They're not above the law.
Nope.
And the news outlets have been told. So as the words of Forrest Gump, sorry, ruined your lake party. Sorry, but you know what? We got threats to go on our cruise and we had to cancel it. Right. So
sorry to ruin your lake.
Sorry to ruin your lake cruise, your tit soup.
You did, Teresa. I was busting out a little Beyonce. You heard it. Oh,
yeah.
The single lady. Sorry.
And if the single guys want to go to this, what have you?
Sure.
But like I say, JAW slept with my husband and another guy's wife or a husband of another one of the same name. You can't go around sleeping with people's husbands.
It's not a great idea. It tends to piss people off.
Yeah. Can you trust the law enforcement? I don't know. It's not my job to trust them. It's my job to report it. And I was not the only one to report it.
I promise you.
That's the problem is this is getting bigger. It's not me. You guys want to get mad at me. It's not me. It
has jumped that curve. I promise you.
I have been reached out to by so many people who've said, I reported it. I reported it to this. I'm sending letters. I know all the husbands and I'm sending letters to the husbands of the bartenders. Bartenders, your husbands. Hey, Tampa B, your husbands are fair game and they are going to find out. I have gotten letters of the husbands that are listed out and they are going to be told. And the other thing you guys should do, because this is such a big deal, definitely subscribe. Is there an age requirement? No. Definitely subscribe to this video, please. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're a jester, hit the dislike. Sure. Robin W., do they have to be married? No, not at all. There are single jesters. Not very many, though. I've only met one, actually. Yeah. The other thing I want you guys to do for me, and I rarely ask this, I think the last time I asked this was when I released the recording of Doug breaking my child's heart. I want you to share this video. This needs to get out. Now it will get out.
Yeah.
There's almost 1,600 people watching.
Yeah.
So people care.
Good
People
turnout.
want to know. And
Hey,
it
Kenya.
should be exposed. This needs light shined on it far and wide. And it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Abigail, for checking. Yeah, please make sure you're subscribed and hit the notifications because this is not the end. I've got people reaching out to me left and right. I think they're scared. I think people are starting to panic and they're like, I'm going to come to you next and tell you what I've done. I don't know why people feel they need to tell me about their sins.
This has jumped the curb. This is no longer just here. This is taken on a life of its own. I promise.
Thank you, Curious Wendy. Yeah. So I just want you guys to know that are watching that this matters as far as if you're a jester or you're in the jesters. This has become bigger than me. So people are reporting it. I have been told, Leno, probably not. I don't do non-live videos, but what was I going to say? Why give them a heads up? Who cares? We're just exposing it. Guys, I don't really care. I just want to expose it. I just want it to be known. What happens is going to happen. I'm not there to put handcuffs on people. I'm just here to expose it. I have the platform where I can convey. I think that's why people are reaching out to me because they're going, you have a voice and you can say these things. Here's my truth. Here's what I've got people confessing to me. I've got these guys going, I'm married. I've never done anything. I love my wife. One guy was like, I just go to blow off steam. I'm just trying to blow off steam. I really, truly he said, I have a really stressful job. And I was like, dude, I ain't judging. You know, I don't even know why you're reaching out to me. I got tons of people coming to me at this point. I think it's because I have this platform and some of them want it told. Yeah. Some of these Court 54 guys are very angry and feel like a bridge has been burned with so-and-so. And I think they're like, F this guy, put it out there for the world to hear. So it's growing bigger than me. The other thing is I've had people reach out and say, we're going to call the police over and over and over while they're there at their party and see if they're going to go. What didn't you saw that message?
I'm telling you, this is bigger than us now. There's some really angry people.
It's taken flight. There's not a lot I can do to put a lid on it at this point.
Nope.
As I was told in my past marriage, you opened Pandora's box and now you can't put a lid on it. And you're really upset that you've seen it all and you wish you hadn't. Well, that's correct.
That box is open.
But it did evolve into something I wanted it to, which is shining light on the darkness. And that's what we're doing. And it's wrong.
And it's a hell of a disinfectant.
Really it's a hell of a disinfectant. So share this video. If you can, share it on Facebook, share it on, I don't care. I don't care where you share it. Yeah, it's just immoral. It's wrong.
Yeah. And again, we're not shaming anybody for this type of work. We're not. What we're saying is
I truly
what they've done is completely different. It really has. They have set up a completely immoral,
trap for these women.
Trap.
It's like Scientology. They don't let them look any other way. They've got them trained. They make these women sign NDAs. They've got them scared. So you know what? I'm not upset with these women. I think these women need to get the hell out of Dodge. Quit. I realize it's a lot of money, but you can do other things. Don't believe what these men are saying. Like the one that told me they can't do anything. They're just all they can do is be on their backs. That's not true. You're probably really brilliant, intelligent women. Yeah. If you're a woman, you're probably brilliant because most women, that's what I mean. They are beaming from day one, from birth. Women are amazing creatures. They're super intuitive and they're very bright and you can do something else. And most of these women are mothers. Go do something that your kids would be proud of. It's just wrong. I don't like that. Yeah, it's coerced prostitution. It's modern slavery.
Yeah, it is.
You're a slave.
It is.
You're a slave if you have to lay on a table and put whipped cream on yourself and let some sleaze bag that's married lick it off of you for $20. That's gross.
And tell you that they saved you.
Yes.
It's disturbing as hell. It really is. It's disturbing as hell.
It is disturbing as hell. So yeah, I got nothing against the fact that you are charging for sex. That's not my issue. That's not my beef.
The moral compass on this one though is a little off.
It's immoral.
It's
way immoral. And it's the men that need to be taken down. It's the men. And I hope these women come out I hope they cut deals left and right, that they don't have to do any time or get in trouble, but they turn in all the men that what they're doing is wrong. And I guarantee you, it's not just sex, it's drugs.
Yeah.
There's cocaine.
There's a lot of really, there's a lot of trash going on, people. It's, and if you get my attention, right, then it's probably pretty nasty because I've been around. You trying to figure out where?
Yeah, but I know where.
Okay.
Overwhelmed by these SP powers again, drive-in fan. Oh yeah, we did that one. Okay, Rachel was, I think, the last one. Yeah, still looking for my Tommy. Poor Jem's journey. We're gonna find him.
Yes.
Deborah, thank you for being a member. Let's see. Raise your hand if you're surprised. We got Analytical Blarney.
Love Analytical Blarney.
Kay Thompson, I think, was the last one. Reese, you've pissed a lot of people off. Yes. Thank you, Jen.
Yes, she is doing something right, to be sure. Proudy, Quibs.
Judges, lawyers, and police. So unethical. It's disgusting.
And that's a recurring theme, right? Seriously, again and again. A lot of judges, a lot of lawyers, a lot of cops, right? Every court seems to have them. And that's not an accident either. They recruit that way.
Poor little pervs tattling on each other. Yeah.
Thank you, Susie.
Yeah, I don't understand how he affords to go.
Right.
Host prom on their lake yacht.
Nice.
Let's go there for our prom.
Right.
Analytical Blarney, you're hilarious.
You really are. Always thinking.
Oh my God. Take my money and keep exposing justice. Lino, thank you. That's awesome. What a nice thing to do.
Look at all
Come for the tit soup, stay for the fruit buffet. Oh my God. Look at his picture.
I know, that's awesome.
Hockey Town John.
Come for the tit soup and stay for the fruit buffet.
That should be their logo.
Yeah.
Arts
and crafts. We'll do a little painting later.
Little body painting.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesters, you're welcome for the free tip. These people are hilarious. Imagine Ted Bundy going, "You don't understand how outing me is going to ruin lives." Brittany, you couldn't be more right, girl. Prom floats and respect on their money.
Oh.
Yeah. I think we should have a prom. I think that's a great idea.
Honestly,
do you think they'd let us? Crown adjustment tax. I love you, White Street Mom. Thank you. The cellist might change his tune.
Well played.
Well played. Amy the pharmacist, thank you for becoming a member.
I love it.
Newest plan, show up on a beaver float since they like them so much.
Nice.
Okay, how can we, let's everybody look for a beaver float.
Yep.
You helped me out on Facebook Messenger today. Thank you. Abby, I'm glad I talked to you.
Love it.
Thank you
very cool.
Thank you for popping in, Abby. I think you need to put a big cutout of ROJ Peep on a swan boat with camera and break so we can. Yeah, Anne, that would be the goal, is to go down there and actually live stream.
Yeah.
You are potentially saving so many people from mental and physical injury. You are a rock star. Thank you, Robin. I hope that's true.
You are a rock star.
I hope that's true. And I hope a lot of wives find this out and get rid of these pieces of shit. Cindy Funk, I haven't seen you in forever. I lived at the lake for 35 years. I knew that. Sounds like it could get a bit exciting next weekend. P.S. It's Camden County. Love you. Camden. Is that what she said? It was. I think they said Camden. Thank you, Cindy Funk. I love you too. And I'm happy to see you. So the banker moonlights as a pimp. These guys have some high-powered careers to lose. Damn, he does. And he's out of Wichita. Yes, Brownie Buttons. It's about consent. If all parties were informed and gave consent, it would be different. A lot of wives and the partners of workers have no clue. Exactly. That's my issue, Anne.
There you go.
It's all about consent. Helena, couldn't putting your husband at risk of STIs be considered SA? That's incredibly cruel. I don't know the answer to that, but you would think so.
Yeah, it should be. If it's not.
Helena, I love you. Sunshine, thank you for becoming a member. He's the one in debt. Who's the idiot now? Absolutely. Right. I was told he'll have to go to Tinder.
Well, and he's running up credit card debt to continue to swing, right? Swing that day.
Thank you. It's lapis, babe. Joe Virus. It's lapis. Well, this is a pearl with something else. It's blue and red, but that's a lapis bird.
Yeah,
thank you, Joe. Leia, Julia, watching from the top. Love from Barcelona. I want to come visit you. I want to go to Barcelona.
Yeah, no way. That's awesome.
Thank you for being a member. It would be nice if Masons Shriners would publicly denounce the Jesters. They should.
They should.
I have been told by many Masons the Jesters are a stain on the Masons. Yeah. Yep. Robin, you're absolutely right. Is there Jesters from Omaha? I know some. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. There's a big Jester court in Omaha. I know quite a few of them. Thank you for your super chat, guys. Pajama Pixie, love you guys big time. I think you both are amazing human beings. Your energy is inspiring. Keep fighting the good fight. Thank you. I love you, and I'm glad that you're back.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're getting out. I think that's awesome.
Sherry LeBrun, I'm late. That's okay. I just love that you made it, girl. Flyers girl, most hotels rent out the ballroom prom that way. That would be hilarious. Unfortunately, guys, thank you for your super chats and becoming members. Unfortunately, these hotels have been they're rented out. You can't get a room. If you save one person, this exposure is worth it. Well, I feel that way about Scientology too. So thank you for saying that. It's very validating.
And you know what? I hate to say this because it's going to sound awful, but you know what? If we don't save anybody, but we stop some of these people from, because can you imagine being the husband of one of these individuals, right? Hey, heading off to work for the weekend. Like that's just the most disturbing thing in the world.
That's
to me.
Effed up.
I'd rather have the shock, right, and the destruction than to live in a phony marriage. I really would.
There are Jesters of Canada, absolutely.
Yes, there are. In fact, we've been contacted by one.
Yep. I'm sure this stream has caused immense anxiety to the degenerates watching. Let's hope so. It will be interesting when the cops show up and there happens to be an off-duty cop as a Jester security.
Yeah.
I hope the cops show up. Now, that's out of my control. I don't know how easy it is to get probable cause to go in and search things, guys. So if nothing happens next week, nothing happens next week. We may just be exposing this, shining light on these guys. I don't know that the authorities are going to be able to do anything. I don't know, but I know they've all been contacted, all of them, local, all the way up to the federal.
The only thing that we've seen,
I would too, Abdazzle.
The only thing that we've seen that said anything about people who are underage took place outside of the U.S.
How many dislikes are there? Can anyone see? I don't know how to see that.
At the end, I can, but I can't do it in real time.
Do you now? I don't know. I don't think we're gonna go. I really don't think it's.
I'm not sure we could pull it off either. It would. I don't know. We're not 100% on that.
That's a good question. As a matter of fact, I was a part of it during that time. They still had their lunches every week. They just wore masks. They still had parties, and I think they were told they had to wear masks, but they didn't because the doors were sealed. You deserve a raise. Robin, thank you for your super chat. I love Robin W. No dislikes yet. Interesting. Guys, make sure that you're subscribed. This really will help because I'm going to be busting out a lot more of this stuff. And I hope some of you enjoy it. I know all of you don't. I saw somebody post saying something like, I'll catch the next one that's a fun one. These aren't the most fun, but this really is, it's a passion at this point of mine. This and Scientology. We're going to talk about both, and not every stream is going to be fun and lighthearted. This needs to be exposed. It does. Absolutely, I think these girls could be saved.
Yeah, absolutely. It does.
Just jumped in. I'll have to catch the replay. Wanted to send a little love. Jenny Stout, I love you, girl.
Thank
I
you.
hope you do catch the replay. This is an important one, guys. Make sure you share this if you can. I don't know much about how that works, but make sure that you share this if you can. Like Goosebump just said, this is very important. It is necessary, Dragon Tears. So yeah, eyes to see, it needs to be exposed. It really does. And I hope that you see the benefit in that, guys. We could be saving people. I'm not saving people. We are. You guys are being here watching this. You're hearing it with your ears. You're seeing it with your eyes. You're going to go tell somebody else, word of mouth. Talk about it. Talk about it. Do you know how many of you have messaged me privately and said, oh my God, I asked this Mason that I know if he's a jester. And one of them said yes. And another one said, we don't talk about jesters. Like they know about it. This is just a big hush, hush secret, but it is well known. They're out in plain sight. I promise.
For evil to prosper, right? All it takes is for good men to do nothing.
Yep.
And for a long time, this group has prospered because nobody did anything.
And you're never wrong to do the right thing.
Yeah, it's never wrong to do the right thing.
We are doing the right thing.
Yep.
We are going to get louder and louder about it. And this is not the only party. I've got the rest of their parties, the rest of this year and into next year, locations and everything. And we may go protest some of these. They have a national one in Florida next year. Maybe we'll go protest it. I'm having a blast, Amy Edge. I'm glad, girl. Yeah, it's no longer a secret. That's all we're trying to get across. Am I trying to ruin marriages? You know, that's what my ex and this particular prostitute says to me. She reaches out and goes, you're ruining marriages. I'm not ruining shit. Yeah. These wives should know what they're married to. These pathetic, disgusting pieces of shit. They're spending their money and they're taking advantage and they're making fools of these women. If we get the chance, Brownie Buttons and I will try to cruise on over there in Arkansas. Wow, Lisa. Okay, that would be amazing. That would, but don't, do anything where you're going to don't, just be safe. Jeannie Hansen, F Scientology and F Jesters. Yeah, girl. Thank you for your super chat, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. This could be a RICO case. Absolutely it could. This is what RICO was built for, so that you could charge an entire group of people for one crime. Absolutely. This screams it. This is honestly what it was built for.
Poor girls are surviving rather than thriving.
Absolutely.
100%. That is such a good point.
Yep.
They think they're thriving by making all this money. They're not. You're better than that. They will never go to jail for crimes as long as they're secret. Absolutely. And not on fire. Carrie Levan, I don't recognize you. People are coming to you because you are authentic. Thank you for being a safe space. Carrie, welcome, by the way. I don't know if you're a longtime lurker, but I don't recognize you in my class. So thank you for being here. I live in Omaha. Been to Mason Lodge several times, as my dad is one. Every Christmas I go to a Christmas tree. Yeah, well, you definitely know some.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Omaha ones. Shauna B, I missed your super chat. Sticker.
New picture too.
Yes, and the marriages can't be that great if men are out messing around. Exactly, Alicia. Christy Lynn Wilson, if anyone knows a DA or ADA, share this video. It'd be a career maker to take them down. Share this video. It would be a career maker to take them down. That's true. Right.
It's absolutely
And that's the other thing I want to say to the girls. Keep reaching out to me. You know why? You could make probably way more money than you're making now. Just write a book. Write a book about everything you've seen. Write a book about everything you know, because that NDA wouldn't hold up in court. You're breaking the law. You don't sign an NDA over illegal shit anyway.
No, you don't.
Come with me. Just come outside and leave.
Yep. Yeah. Come tell your story.
We will love the shit out of you. This chat will support you. Nobody will shame you.
Yeah.
Come on out. Come to the other side and you'll make all kinds of money.
Yeah. With your clothing on.
Yes.
And your dignity intact.
Yes. I love you.
Yeah.
I just think you're such a good. No, I love that. I haven't been surrounded by many men like you. And I love how much you respect women. It really means a lot to me. No. As much as people want to say you don't, or whoever they're saying what, Tommy is a huge advocate for women. And you guys know that. These gestures make it easy to provide wit and sarcasm. Thank you.
True story.
You have really upped my super chat game these days. Analytical blonde, you're hilarious.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah. Start saving the ladies. The ladies are worth it. We want to save the ladies.
Yeah. There's a bestseller waiting to happen. I promise you. There's a bestseller waiting to happen. So.
Yeah. We're not saying anything bad about the Shriners, Tracy and Tulsa. You are a pretty lady, by the way. Most of the Shriners are really good people, and the Shriners do really good things. But the dark side that you're hearing about right now is maybe something you don't want to hear. These jesters are Shriners.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the Shriners are bad. There's a ton of Scientologists that are really good people, but there are also bad ones.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. And to be a Shriner, you've got to be a Mason, right? So it's just another extension. They keep paring it down.
How do they enforce the NDA? They don't, but they scare the shit out of these girls.
Correct.
They're scaring the girls. They're intimidating them and making them feel like they have to follow the rules or else. You don't. You know what? We've got a big platform here. Come reach out to me. And you know what? In 48 hours, I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and I have a feeling it's not going to stop. So let's make this big. Let's expose this and let's save these girls. Just like Scientology, I want to get people out. These marriages are ruined by these cheaters. Yes, John. I'm glad you said that because I was made to feel crazy about that.
Yeah, then they gaslight everybody.
The Spicy Idaho Queen Bee. I don't recognize your name.
I don't either, but welcome to the party.
Yes, thank you for being here and thank you for your super chat. There she is. Alicia, today's therapy. You are amazing, Alicia. Yeah. Thank you. You are the most generous. I don't even know what to say. I never know what to say when you throw out those giant super chats. Alicia, we love you. And thank you for being supportive. This helps me. Thank you. I admire your bravery. Lisa White. I don't know that I recognize her. We have a lot of Lisas, but I don't know if I know Lisa White. I admire your bravery and passion for helping people. I'm happy Tommy is there for the emotional support and protection. We're a fabulous couple.
Oh, thank you.
Lisa, thank you.
It's a very nice thing
and
to
if
say.
You have been here for a long time, I feel bad. We have a lot of Lisas, but thank you, Lisa. And Alicia, you're amazing. Guys, you really all are amazing. She is incredibly generous, Hockey Town John. I don't think the purple hat has anything to do. It may or may not, Tracy, but the purple is a big, big thing. You got to look for the purple. Yeah, it's sick how much lying to the wives is involved. That's my issue. And I was one of those
and
wives.
Husbands, right? Because this isn't just lying to the wives. There's a lot of husbands out there that are dating these women that are, selling themselves and then going home to their families with a line of shit about where the money came from. It's really awful.
I don't know who Danny Thomas is.
Danny Thomas started I can't think of the name of the charity, but it's a huge charity.
Robin W. I don't know who that is, so I couldn't tell you. So guys, again, subscribe. I'm going to continue to be doing these lives. He's in on it with me because he has been talking to everyone I've been talking to, and it helps. He's a second set of ears and eyes. And honestly, I wouldn't want anybody else by my side doing this. Tommy is the most compassionate person I know. So he's really kind of a nice, he helps me to process this stuff because it's heavy. As you guys know, it's heavy stuff. It's hard to deal with. It's hard to think about these women. It's hard to think about how they are treating them and what's going on. So yeah, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate him being here. We will continue to do more of these lives. I'm sure I'm going to continue to get more people reaching out. They seem to be, a lot of them either seem to be angry and they're reaching out to me because they are wanting some kind of revenge. But the other half of them are reaching out because I think they are scared and they feel like it's going down in flames anyway. Absolutely. I love Sarah Browett. I love you too, Robin W. I don't know anything about St. Jude's.
Danny Thomas started that.
Oh, okay. That's not a Jester thing.
No.
It's also powerful for the women to hear both a man and a woman support them without judgment. Sarah Browett, amen, girl. That is so true. Blaze Best to Crochet. If there are wives of jesters that are listening to this live, what advice would you give them? Mary, I would say make a plan. That's what I had to do. I couldn't just blow up my life and I couldn't get out immediately and it sucked for me. I hated it. I was miserable. My marriage ended years ago when I found out he was doing this stuff. But some of you have kids, some of you don't. You can't just up and leave. Most of them are emotional or definitely emotionally, but financially strapped. These guys keep their wives from working and they go to their little country clubs, but they control all the money. So you've got to make a plan. Reach out to family. I would be happy to help you. Mods, please put my email up. I want to say hi. I love you both. Thank you, Elizabeth Frazier. We love you. I would be happy, just like any Scientologist reaching for help, I would be happy to help. So, Tommy and I both, please put our emails up and reach out to me. I would do anything to try to help someone get out of this situation because it is a absolute, it's torture. It was torture for me. I was in Scientology for 38 years. That was a walk in the park. And I'm not kidding. I'm not being dramatic. I would take it any day. I'd go back to Scientology any day. This was abusive control of the mind. Way worse than Scientology for me. I was absolutely kicked around. I was physically assaulted. I was threatened by these jesters with my life. They're horrible. That was nothing compared to Scientology.
I think another good piece of advice would just be to tell them you're not crazy, right? The fact that they keep trying to make you feel like you're crazy and that they keep gaslighting you. This is real. That this is exactly what's going on. When they go, no, right? No, you're definitely being lied to.
And as you make that plan, collect as much evidence as you can, because having it to back you up, having receipts to prove it will also help. That will help. And you are not crazy. Tommy is absolutely right. I was told
again,
I was
and again
nuts.
And again. Yep.
I was told this is all in my head. I was told my thoughts are not based in reality. Tommy's amazing. I know. They love you. Look at that.
Yeah, that's nice.
As a person who is cheated on, I can only hope the truth comes to light. Love you. Alana, yes. I like your new picture, Alana. Love you too, girl. Thank you. Yeah, voice recordings. If you have an Apple Watch, you can hit record on your Apple Watch. Yeah, absolutely. Record, take pictures of anything you see, record anything you hear, and get the hell out. And we will help you. Tommy and I will absolutely help you come up with a plan.
My birthday month is July. I was born July the 3rd.
Purple is not exclusive to the Jesters. It's a Masonic color. That's totally fine. But the Royal Order of Jesters, everything is purple. Everything is purple. Purple. Yeah, they have everything is purple. That's purple.
Yeah.
So, I can't, I'm sure it's a Masonic color, but it's definitely the color of the Jesters.
And it's a color of royalty, so it's, you know, it gets a lot of use, but they're definitely big on it.
He's going to be here for a while, Abigail.
Yeah.
I love a Cancer too. I'm July 8th, so we are kind of perfect for each other.
There are jesters in Canada. One of them has actually reached out to us.
Yeah, there are definitely jesters of Canada. They're worldwide.
Yep.
They're worldwide. So, guys, again, I appreciate you being here. This was quite a long stream, but it really needed to take place. We're going to continue to do this as we count down to the lake party next week. The lake party at the Lake of the Ozarks is from Wednesday through Sunday next week. There's going to be a lot of girls. I guess there's not going to be the 700 to 800 men. I was corrected on that. It's going to be a lower number, probably even lower now. They're bringing cocaine to the party, and there's going to be a lot of bartenders and prostitutes, and some are a little bit of both, like the girl who's renting the cabin across the lake. So we're going to keep doing a countdown to expose this. And again, share this video. The news places have been called and all the authorities. So we'll see what happens. So it'll be very interesting. Yeah, shut it down, Robin. Shut it down.
I love it.
There's nothing good about it. Out the hotels. Yeah, we may do that. Love you, Shelly. I love all of you. Thank you for being here. Please make sure you're subscribed, and we will see you again very soon. But I love you guys, and here comes Fred. Thank you again for your super chats tonight and all the members. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.